Okay, guys. I know it's been a little while, and I'm sorry about that. Things came up. But when we last left off, uh, you guys had discovered that the local town inn, the Watering Hole, actually did have people still in it. At the door, keeping it partially propped open, but only really a sliver, actually. Uh, you ran into the dwarf who guards the door. Uh, Inside, you discovered that, as far as they're concerned, it has been weeks uh, instead of only a couple of hours. Even though from uh, sorry, name I have the name right here. Since Ralph, sorry, Ralph. As far as Ralph's concerned, it's only been a couple of hours since he left town to go do some investigations in the woods, and everything was fine at that point. But apparently, weeks have gone by inside this tavern. You discovered that the there's a problem with putting the doors closed. That people on other sides of doors, well, time seems to be variable between the two, which has apparently led to somebody starving to death. You did some discussion with the dark elf at the bar. Uh, you realize that one of you realized that you have a laptop on you and that it has a 23% charge currently. Uh, you learned that there are that sorry. You learned that in reading history. One of you learned that in reading history books, it was possible something about the Sundering and its end, and something to do with some of the things that you're seeing here. This weird time dilation, the town seemingly just falling silent overnight, all that sort of stuff. Um, you did not have a positive reaction to the ogre who was sitting at the bar with the kitten. When you guys went to sleep, two of you ended up with dreams, and you both saw the same thing. You guys decided to, or at least Nora, because she had luggage and stuff on her, decided to leave stuff at the bar and only travel light. And you discussed whether to go to the museum or over to the diner first. Uh, and you decided, I believe, that you were heading to the diner. Anything else that you need?
Well, there was somebody missing, right? Or a band of gnomes or goblins or
Kobolds. It was a group of
dwarves, kobolds.
it was
Yeah,
a group of kobolds who had gone off to investigate the diner, probably bring back supplies. Most supply runs have not been successful from anywhere, and the latest one, just to the diner across the way, hasn't returned.
that's right. That's right. Didn't we see something in the diner or no?
You might have.
Oh man, I can't remember. I thought we were looked through the window and saw like something moving or boy, I can't, maybe I'm wrong. Can't quite remember.
For all you know, it could have been a dream. You've been asleep since then.
That's right. Guess it's just uh you and me. Let's see. Just you and me, Ralph?
Yeah, I guess so. Did you see where Nora went off to?
I did not.
Hmm.
Where exactly are we? Are we at the diner?
Yeah.
Yes, you're currently standing outside the diner. In fact, I believe you looped around to the
We're
back.
outside the diner. Uh-huh. Right. And I was going to use my my tire iron to try to pry the door open. That's right. Like a proper investigator, we're gonna break in the back door.
So let's see here. If you're going to be doing that, I believe that should be a type of roll.
Okay.
Let me look at your character sheet and tell you what to roll, because the skills are different here than they are in D&D. And trying to remember them is, yeah, it's going to take a little bit. Everyone's going to remember what to do next. Okay. This isn't a firearm. Let's see what skills. Actually, I think for this, considering you're using an item, it might not be necessarily the best item to try to pry open a door, but it is an item. Let's give you. Actually, since it is the wrong type of item, it's not. It's a tire iron, not a crowbar.
Not a crowbar.
I'm gonna have you roll a hard strength check.
Hard strength. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I can remember that. Click on. Oh, here we go. Hard and strength.
Yeah. So you put the tire iron up against the metal back door, and you try to pry, but it quickly slips off, and you just can't get the right sort of torque into it. Like you can stick it next to the door, or you can try to jam it as best you can, but it doesn't move the door at all.
Well, maybe we'll have to try the front door, eh, Ralph? Or got any ideas?
Yeah, I guess try the front door.
That was glass, if I remember right. But I mean, if we can't pry it open, we could always smash it open, which
Oh
might not
yeah.
be a bad thing because you remember doors. You don't want to get on the other side of a closed door because then something bad happens.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the front door is
I
best
guess
as any.
Okay,
go back around to the
this isn't
front
going to
door
be
and
quite accurate, but it is a diner. This is not what it actually looks like, but it's close to it. It's got some similar colors, but the door is more like on that side of it versus in the middle. And there's a bit of there's
okay.
a slight overhang. If you, I believe,
Oh, so it's a real old timey thing.
yeah, it's kind of like an old timey look from our perspective. I think I
Mhm.
might have shown you on a stream what it looks, what the outside of it looks like. So I have it up. I have it up in my Minecraft world.
Oh yeah. The mic, yeah, that's right. So looks like we would definitely be able to smash that glass open if we have to, if we can't pry the door. Should I make another roll?
Okay, so the two of you have walked around to the other side of the diner and now standing in front of the door.
Yeah.
Are you attempting to smash the door open, or are you attempting to pry it open?
Well, at first we'll try to pry it. Right? I think
Right.
and then
Another
if that
hard
doesn't work,
strength
then
check.
okay.
You attempt to pry it, and the door does not budge.
It is locked.
Can you
Well,
give me a normal intelligence roll, please? Okay.
Sorry, wait, that's hard. What just happened?
The dice cards are against you.
Oh, man. Ow! I hurt my wrist. Okay. Jeez. What are they serving there? Gold? What is Ralph? Are you a human or are you something bigger and beefier? Today? I get unhooked.
Stony, you okay?
Oh, it must be having mic issues. You know though, right, Chris? Is Stony is he a human or something else?
Thought it was human. Hold on, I'm gonna double check.
Out in my head, he is.
Yeah, cause I think Nora's the only one that went non-human. I want to say. Let me double check my notes, see if I wrote it down. If so. No, I did not make any racial notes. That's more of like a flavor sort of thing, anyway. It'll occasionally
Bond
have
seems
like
he was like
benefit
a
or
big,
detriments,
you
but
know.
yeah. Now the best way for me to do that is to look at his
Maybe
body score and see what it says. Size is 55, so he looks like he's just average sized.
oh shoot. You know, the tire iron as soon as oh he's back. I think.
What are you doing with the tire iron?
Phone. Well, if I can't pry the door open with it, I'll turn it around and just smash the front window out of the door.
Okay. Considering that this won't, the door is not, the glass is not reinforced, and your general strength, I'm not even going to make you roll this. You smash the door with a resounding sound of shattering glass.
All right. Is there a way to unlock it? Like, can I reach around and unlock it, or does it need a key?
You reach around, you click some sort of deadbolt, and realize that you didn't try the door prior to doing this. It was already unlocked. You just locked it.
Oh, 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 man! Come on, Arthur, get it together.
That, by the way, is why I
All
had
right.
you roll
Well,
your
I guess I'll.
make that intelligence roll, because it's like you brought it up because
Oh,
you didn't even try the door to see if it was unlocked. And then you brought it up thinking that it was locked, and so I was going to say, okay, intelligence roll time to see if you realized that you hadn't checked. Nope, the dice god said no. You didn't.
no.
You didn't remember.
See what's happened when I'm left to my own devices? Come on. Oh, man, we need you, Stony. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
So
back.
I'll
Welcome back.
unclick the deadbolt. Oh, all right. Did you hear all that?
Yeah. Like I heard the part where you smashed the door open and you find out you locked it instead of unlocked it.
Yeah. I'll give you a funny look like Not quite, oops, sheepish, I guess. Anything in the diner before we step in?
All right.
Anybody, I mean?
No.
Okay. Well, you shattered the quiet that used to permeate this area. The air, the air is permeated with the odor of old coffee and er, something burnt and a little bit rancid. The countertop is bare, but the booth in the corner has a coffee mug on the table, half filled.
Is there something, ashtray or something that we can use to wedge the door open? I'm really nervous about getting on the other side of a closed door, even if the window is smashed out.
Give me another intelligence roll. Probably the tire iron would make for a very good doorstop.
Um, okay,
You can
all right.
also
Sacrifice it.
go in there and find something else to put in the door if you wish. But at the moment, that is a very nice doorstop.
Okay, I'll wedge the door open with the tire iron.
All right. I take it you two are going inside then.
Yeah.
All right.
Is there anything that we can see that, like, in like this, walking in, we can tell like how long it's been like vacant?
Give me a spot hidden roll, please. All right. You walk inside. You take a look around, and nothing seems to be catching your attention about how long things have been sitting like this. Although there is that same coffee smell that permeates the air does seem like it may be a bit rancid.
Hmm.
Remembering the motel, I'd like to just take a quick peek behind the counter. Not go around there, but just lean over and peek behind her, make sure there's nobody laying there or no spider things.
All right. Give me a spot hidden roll.
Um,
All right. Looking behind the counter. You see a coffee pot that's mostly empty. You see plenty of mugs. You see one of those tubs that holds what's it called? Dishes, used dishes that are now like crusted over with mold. You notice that there are several under the floor cabinets that are open. If there was contents in there, they're gone now. Uh, it looks like the cash register itself is untouched. There are no bodies back here. Uh, you do see. Oh, let's see. Let me double check your things. You do see weird marks in the dust. Let me double check your skills for a moment here. See if there's anything else that you would know from that roll. Hmm. Nope, I don't think that that roll will give you any further information.
all right, cool. Good to know. Just checking. Is he? there must be a back room, a kitchen, I guess, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
There is a swinging door in the back behind the counter.
So swinging doors have the same effect as any normal door.
You don't know.
Hmm.
Ready to ready to open it? You don't have to go through it. Let's just give it a push, right? And we get a quick
Yeah.
look in there, at least.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. Until at least we can find something to hold it open.
All right. Who's doing what?
Well, if you want to get ready, Ralph, I'll get up close to it, stand off to the side, and just give it a good shove. So, if the swinging one of those swinging doors, it'll swing open as wide as it'll possibly go, and we can get a good look in there.
Okay. Okay, so do I see anything?
All right. So the door squeaks open. Give me a listen check. All right. As you squeak the door open, you hear what appears to be a slurping sound coming from the far side of the room, past the various kitchen implements that block your line of sight. So you got like you got basically some sinks off to the sides, what appears to be the door to a walk-in freezer, and then you have the big industrial like chopping area slash ovens kind of in the middle, where you got the racks that split off, make it impossible to see on the other side of it. And there's definitely a slurping sound coming from the other side. Also, you are definitely
Slurping like
You're also definitely detecting the smell of blood and probably death.
oh, the slurping is like some creature or something slurping, not
Correct.
a pump, that's
Definitely an
trying to
organic slurping noise,
not a
not a pump.
I'll look over at Ralph and say, doesn't look like much for us to eat in there.
Mm-hmm.
The
No.
slurping sound instantly cuts off. What do you guys do?
You say we
Who's
say
at
we
okay?
get out of here.
Who's at the door right now?
Well, Arthur's holding the door open.
Okay.
I'm looking in.
Is your head through the door? Or
No.
okay.
Oh
Art,
yeah,
Art, Art,
sorry.
Arthur. Uh, let's see. Roll me a strength check.
Okay.
All right. Just as you're telling Ralph that maybe you should suddenly something slams up against the door, which you are then able to hold still on and not knock yourself back. You have the opportunity to either try to push back or instantly let go of the door and hope that it doesn't that time dilation happens and that whatever's on the other side trying to knock the door into you doesn't have the time anymore to do it.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna definitely let go.
All right.
Step back.
So Ralph, I would like from you a dexterity check, to see if you get back out of the door in time, or if the door knocks into you. All right, you roll out of the door. The door completely closes, and nothing hits the other side of it.
there a broom around anywhere?
You did not see any behind the counter. If you would like to attempt to search the rest of the diner outside this forward part of the diner, you can give me a spot hidden check.
Or just something broom, mop, something like that. Okay, spot hidden. Look around real quick.
All right. You see that there is a door on the far side as well. This looks to be a bathroom door. It is closed though. You see what looks like the space for either a mop or a broom, like one of those little indents in the wall. You know where where if you can like stick one in a kitchen that's holding up, and then it'll just stay there. You know the little semi clamp things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right, gotcha.
Yeah, you see one basically in the crook right next to the bathroom, which is like basically out of the way of patrons, but easy enough for whoever's running the front counter to grab and mop a spill if need be. However, the mop or broom is not there currently.
Okay. Yeah, I was just gonna use a stick to poke the door or to tap on the door, but no, that's all right. Oh, let's see. What do you think, Ralph? Ready to get out of here?
Yeah, after that, yeah.
All right.
I just have a feeling that whatever was in that kitchen was not wholesome.
All right. Tell me what you guys are doing now.
That's right. There, besides the diner, there was
Ooh,
something else. Right? There was
Okay,
a
as you
motel.
guys, as the two of you start walking around the out from behind the counter, basically you're in the in between the booze, the door in the back slams open. Whatever happened, the time apparently equalized between the two spaces, and whatever is behind that door has now pushed its way out, slamming it free. Thankfully, neither of you were directly in front of it, and it's now leaping up onto the counter. And what you see is terrifying. I basically prior to the to the show Stranger Things, I basically had to describe this thing in detail. After Stranger Things, I'm going to tell you that it kind of resembles one of the demi-dogs with in terms of the face. You know, the weird conical face that splits open. Except that there's a long, lolling tongue coming out of it. It is definitely dog shaped, but it is basically this mottled, weird red and green color without a tail. I'd like both of you to give me sanity checks, please.
Oh, not good.
Okay, Ralph is okay, but Arthur, this thing is horrifying as you're staring right into its mouth that's splitting open with all those teeth on all of the flaps and the tongue that's lolling out. That you're just basically losing some sanity now. Let's see, how much should he lose? You lose 4 points of sanity.
Okay, so wait a minute. How does that work? I click on the sanity.
Okay, your
and
sanity,
reduce that.
yeah, your sanity is right now 29 out of 30. You take it down by 4, so you're at
Uh-huh.
25 out of 30 now.
Okay, so that would probably be not temporary insane. Just keep track of it. Oops, no. Edit mode, maybe.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Sorry, drop it by what?
4, so you'll be going down to 25 sanity out of 30.
Okay. Okay. I'll scream in terror. Run!
All right, that means your next movement is going to be last. I would like a dexterity roll from Arthur. Or sorry, from Ralph. Sorry, Ralph. Okay, so
What did I trip on?
you didn't. I'm basically bringing the equivalent of an initiative roll. There's no specific initiative setting on this, so I'm basically just going by see who rolls certainly. Oh, yeah, you are faster than it is. It failed by much worse than you did. So it is currently standing on top of the counter, and has basically just made a roaring noise at you, with its mouth just all wide open and tongue lolling all the way out. Arthur is screaming in fear. Ralph, what do you do?
Grab Arthur and try to leave the diner.
All right. So for grabbing him, we're going to go with a strength check, please. Oof. He is probably too heavy for you to move. So you just did a grab and pull at him. All right. So what's going to happen next, because it's before Arthur's turn, this thing is going to launch itself at one of you, which actually is technically both of you, since you're standing right next to each other, as you're failing to drag Arthur in the first place, Ralph. I'm going to figure out which one is which. First is Ralph, second is Arthur. Ralph. It is going to be launching itself right at Ralph. Let's see how it does. Right. Oh. All right. So something very, very lucky happened for you as it goes to launch itself at you. Something must have still been on the side of the counter. Like maybe a dish that had just blended in with everything else, a plate. It had rested one of its paws. Well, not really paws. It's more like flat boot-looking things now, with little claws coming out the side, even though there doesn't appear to be movable digits. But it rested one of these on the plate rather than flat on the surface of the diner. And when it went to leap at you, Arthur, instead of pouncing on top of you and doing any damage, the plate that it was standing on went shooting backwards, knocking into its feet and causing the creature to tumble over. It is now crashed itself down onto the ground. Arthur, it is your turn.
Okay. Well, I'll in turn grab Ralph, and we're gonna
Strength
get
check.
out of there.
Give me a strength check.
Oh, whoops! I pressed the thing. Oh. Here it is.
Okay, so he came over, tried to grab you as you're screaming, tried to grab you, but failed because you're too heavy. You snap out of it, probably because the thing fell when it was trying to jump at you. And that just kind of snapped you out of your terror. You managed to grab him, and you're now booking it out to the door. I'd imagine that Ralph, are you okay with this, of him grabbing you?
Yeah.
All right. So the two of you get to the door. You have to decide whether or not you're going to try to grab the tire iron that you're using to prop up the door as you get out, or if you're going to leave it there and book it somewhere. What do you wish to do?
Leaving it. I'm not taking that time.
Okay. All right. The creature stands up and is starting to run towards you. It's making its way towards the door. Let's see if it gets there before you guys leave. All right. So as you guys run out of the building, it crashes open the door that's been left propped open. even though if it's very slightly, it manages to get out and is now on the sidewalk. Which direction would you guys like to head in?
Thinking the motel is the closest.
Yeah. We can see if anything's changed from the last time we were there.
All right. So I'm assuming that you're now both running independently from each other and are no longer grabbing onto each other.
Yeah.
All right. So as you're booking each other to the motel with this thing fast on your heels, both of you give me Constitution checks. All right, Arthur. It appears that you are a bit out of shape, Arthur. and this all this running is really making it hard. Ralph is definitely pulling out ahead of you. You could
Or my
hear this.
fancy shoes today, dang it.
Yeah. You could hear it booking its way behind you. Ooh, you got lucky again.
Oh, yes.
Like you even though you're breathing heavily, you're not anywhere near as fast as Ralph, and this thing is a speedy. This thing, when it jumps, manages to just leap slightly past you instead of on top of you, landing and scuffing into the into the gravel and hard packed dirt that's by the right by the roadside. Uh, you hear this thing that's basically trying to kill you, constantly messing up. All right, you're getting closer to the motel. Any changes in trajectory?
I'm making for that door to the office, which I know is unlocked.
Ralph, are you doing the same, or do you have another point
Yeah.
of interest? Okay. All right, so I would like both of you to give me dexterity checks. Oof. So
Oh,
Ralph nimbly leaps over everything in his path without problem. Any unevenness in the surface, anything that's fallen out. Uh, Arthur, on the other hand, just trips and falls over his own shoelaces at this point.
heel comes off a cowboy boot. That's the worst.
And he hears the monster sail over top of him as he's once again, even with this farce, getting lucky. Although that's unlikely that luck is going to hand because it is practically right next to him. Ralph, what do you do? Arthur is on the ground.
Try to pick him up.
All right, you run back as the creature is getting back to its feet, constantly failing to reach its target, even though the target had fallen. And supporting Arthur, it is going
Like
to aim at. It's actually going to be aiming at you this time, Ralph. Let's see if the dice. Well, hold up or not. They hold up. This thing is just snapping and snarling at you guys, but is unable to reach as you get into the parking lot of the motel. It is still running back at you. It's like basically keeps running. It keeps trying to dive at you, keeps failing to do that. It had an easier time in the small confined spaces with whatever it was eating in there. Presumably a kobold. Yes. I'm gonna give you guys one more roll for I think Let's see. I think in this case we're gonna have you both give me a luck roll. All right. Yeah. So you both managed to reach the door to the motel thing. Right as the thing is diving once again, you hear the slam and it helps make the door closed against you. You don't hear a second slam. You're both alive and relatively unharmed, except for Arthur probably getting hurt just by falling during that chase sequence.
Any dangerous looking spider type creatures around?
Give me a hard spot hidden. All right. You look around frantically, probably still breathing hard, and at the moment you're kind of having a hard time seeing because you're just so freaked out over not dying just now.
I feel good, but terrified that the door closed behind us. Grab the phone off the receiver. Anything?
Nothing.
Hmm.
The two of you are alive and relatively unharmed. Congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah, right. We won. Sit down in a chair and catch my breath.
Yeah. Yeah, there's still the smell of a dead body, of an an older dead body in here, but it's not a fresh kill. It's probably been moldering for a while at this point.
Hey, we still got our phones on us, right?
Yes, you do.
Uh,
Arthur's was at 30% last look, and Ralph, yours was at 57%.
so do we know if the electronics are affected by the time dilation? So if, like, say, uh, I don't know how to explain it.
Well, it would stand to reason that since it's not like things are prematurely aging, it's simply time is in two different slots in two different areas. That people in those areas experience time differently. That it would affect electronics the same way it affects the people. So that if you're in an
Uh,
area with that, it would the power runs out. Basically, would run out at the same steady rate. It's just that depending on where you're standing, that could seem like a lot more to somebody else.
no.
I have an
Yep.
idea. I'm gonna Google Pine Valley Motel, and then I'm gonna call it from my cell phone.
You're fighting no bars to in order to get into the internet to look that up.
Of course.
Your phone does not appear to be working as a phone or an internet hub of any kind, but it can still work as a flashlight or as a picture taker or a few other things.
Hmm.
Oh, no bars. Like if I were to give Ralph my number, he couldn't call me.
Correct. Your phones do not work as walkie-talkies, sadly.
Oh, okay.
That would be very cool, though. If in fact, I believe there was a phone network at one point that tried to do that, but that was before smartphones.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we used to do that when we were working construction. All the
What
cell
was it,
phones had a
Nextel or something like
had
that?
a. Yeah, it was. It was.
So when I originally wrote the storyline 20 years ago, that would have been viable. But but nowadays everyone has a smartphone.
Let's see here. Do we have to go outside to access the rooms?
Sadly, yes. If you had a smaller member of your party or had the ability to shrink down somehow, you could fit through the air vents, but it's unlikely a full-grown human could fit in there.
Is there another door or exit
No,
from this
there
room?
there is only the way back out onto into the parking lot. And as I said, for a smaller creature, the air vent.
Hmm. So we don't hear the monster anymore?
No, you don't.
What if it's worth waiting until morning here?
Uh, in the room that we're in, is there like any natural light shining in?
1 second. I know all the regular rooms did not have glass, but I believe that the motel does. The motel office does. I pull up the description. Okay, let's see. Room discussion. Where is situated at the south end of Main Street? 30 rooms. There's the office space for 2 sets of exteriors. No windows are visible in any of the guest rooms. Likely for guests. Parking lot. I'm gonna go. Okay, here we go. Outside. Yeah, there are windows into the parking lot that show off much of the office as you stand outside, which means that you can see out into the parking lot from the office.
Okay. Any sign of the thing?
Spot hidden.
Oh, maybe I need to change it from hard to regular.
It is still a 96, though. It's unlikely. Yeah, even
Yeah,
and the dice
it's
gods agreed.
still bad.
So yeah, you tried looking out into the parking lot, but it is pitch black out there. And you have normal human vision.
I have a little bit of a thing going on here where I lost power. I think my generator might have ran out of gas, and anyway, I'm gonna have to take just a little bit of a break and be away from the game for just 5 minutes or so. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Apologize, but I'll be back as soon as I possibly can. It won't be more than a few minutes.
Okay.
Figure this out.
Okay.
So break then for
Yeah.
everyone. All right. See you back here in a couple minutes then.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Back. Oh, thanks. It wasn't the
Welcome back.
generator. It was the connection to the two extension cords was loose and it came apart. I think the cat was messing with it.
That happens.
There's a little plastic box that the connection is underneath, and the cat likes to sit on that box. I think the kitty wiggled
Well,
in
it's
part.
nice and warm.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, so we were. What were we doing? Really like the idea of going out there tonight. Back out there.
So, are both of you back?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So you're currently in the motel. What would you guys like to do?
I'm all for sitting right here in this chair and waiting for dawn.
Yeah. Sounds like a good idea. Especially after all the running we've been doing.
Yeah, it might be I don't know what time it is. I know it was late, I think, when we got into town.
After midnight. For sure.
Right? Yes. Yes, it can't be too long until it gets light.
Yeah.
So are both of you just planning on sitting there?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So after some time, I would like both of you to roll intelligence checks. Both of you are fairly certain that enough hours have gone by that it should be daytime. However, considering that, needing sleep, needing other bodily functions, and yet the sun has never risen. It's just the same darkness out there.
I can't sit here anymore. I read every brochure here. Let's there's no sign of that creature. Let's try opening that door. Getting back to the diner. What do you think?
Yeah. You sure you'll be okay if you run into that monster again?
I got a little bit of a rest. We don't have much of a choice but to run. Just make sure my shoelaces are tied. the door open just a little. Anything out there?
Give me a spot hidden check. You don't see anything out there, but it's also very dark.
Don't really. What's your thought on this, Ralph? Run top speed like mad, or slow and stealthy, hiding behind parked cars and trees and whatnot?
I think slow and stealthy is probably the way to go.
And we should probably stick together, you think? In
Definitely.
case something happens? Yeah, okay. So maybe we can sneak over to that spot over there.
What spot?
I'll find a car, deep shadow, against the wall, something hiding spot.
Oh yeah.
Or we can still see the door and run back to it if we have to.
Sounds like a plan.
So leaving the motel it is. Do you rush out? Do you go out casually? How do you wish to do this?
We're gonna sneak out slow and stealthily.
Yeah.
At least that's plan A, right, Ralph?
Yeah, it's plan A.
Are both of you gonna roll stealth or just the one?
If I can find it. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, neither of you are particularly stealthy, but you are attempting, so.
Hey,
Do we make it back to the diner?
Right, you're heading all the way back to the diner. Yep, the road is actually clear. It's unclear what happened with the dog and how long you were actually in there relative to anything outside, though. The tire iron is still in place.
oh, it can stay there.
Hey Arthur, should we check the back room again?
In case you wait a minute. That's not a bad idea. Like that creature is. We let it out. It's out. It's not there anymore. Actually, yeah, I think we should. That is a good idea.
Do you guys see anything to prop open the door with?
So you're back into the diner. I take it.
Yeah.
All right, give me a spot hidden check.
I do remember seeing a bus tub full of dirty dishes back behind the counter. That's probably got a little weight to it.
No, yeah.
So I take it you are taking the bus tub and putting it into the sliding door to try to keep it propped open.
Was that
Mm.
your plan, Ralph? The swinging door open, not the front door.
Yeah, the swinging door.
Yeah, because the front door
Yeah,
still has
good
the
idea.
tire iron in it,
Right, right.
keeping it nice and propped. All right. So you push the door open a bit to the back. Give me a listen check, please.
Both of us.
Whoever is helming the pushing the door open and putting the thing down in front of it.
Well, we're both doing that.
All right, then both of you. All right. So after what happened last time, you lean next to the door and listen carefully, not letting either of you move, just to make sure that there's no further sounds in the back there. Nothing. But you do detect the odor of a dead body.
Look around, or see anything moving at all, anywhere, up, down, all around, underneath.
All right, let me get back
From the
to
doorway.
the full description of the bath. Oh, you can't see. I gave you a description earlier of what you can see from the doorway,
Right.
and nothing
Okay,
has changed.
so looking all around it, yeah, nothing lurking anywhere that we can see, or hiding, or from where we can see.
Correct.
Well, guess we got to do it. In we go. In I go.
Mm.
Are both of you heading inside, or just Arthur?
Oh, I am too.
Okay. You must step into the kitchen. Uh, it is small, but probably about two people could work in here at a time. There are two further doors in this room. One appears to be a walk-in, some sort of walk-in, maybe a pantry or a cooled box. Off to one side, taking up the. If you're standing directly in front of in the doorway, this would be far off to the right. And then somewhat straight ahead, and also towards the right, but against the back wall, is most likely the door you were trying to open earlier, on the back side of the diner. There's also on the floor, closer to that back door than not, what looks like the remains of a kobold, although most of it is like, just bits and pieces at this point. Like parts of a skull, a few extra bones here and there, but it's the size and shape that corresponds with the kobold.
Okay, I'm gonna rush over to a workstation and grab the biggest knife I can.
All right, give me another spot hidden check. All right. Quickly looking around in the station, you discover a knife in what appears to be a what's the correct word for it? Another dump tray, basically something where you would put a dirty knife that hasn't quite been cleaned yet. You pick it up, and you now have a butcher's knife.
Knife, all right.
Are you doing anything, Ralph?
Um. So, can I open the pantry?
Sure. You go over, you click open the pantry. Cool air comes rolling out at you. It's still very cold in there.
Anything of interest?
Give me a spot hidden check. It is incredibly dark in there. You can't see anything.
Does my phone still have power?
Yes, it does.
I'm gonna turn on my flashlight.
All right. Turn on your flashlight. You see racks of various goods. You also, as you're flashing it around, you keep catching this weird shape. Uh, that seems to be closer towards the ceiling, though it's just something is off.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and shut it.
All right. The door is now shut. Cold air is no longer blasting you.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah. Would you walk over there and say, oh, what did you see in there?
I don't know. Well, all I know it wasn't supposed to be in there.
Uh, I think I don't think there's anything we can do for these cobalt. I think they're done for. I think we might be if we don't get out of here. This diner is not a good place.
No.
Weren't we supposed to get food? Is that right? They were hungry. Is that or is I can't remember.
Well, you were given the option to go do that if you wish to. You're also given some leads as to where you might want to go in order to figure out what's going on in this town. Uh, Essentially, it's all up to you guys of what you want to do. Character-wise, you could also just hang out in the, in the watering hole and do nothing. But, you know, that doesn't make for interesting gameplay.
Right. It's got to be some bag of buns or something that we can grab. Uh, tin of coffee, something that we can bring back to them. Here in the kitchen.
All right, give me spot hidden check.
Both of us?
Yes, please. All right, so Arthur doesn't really find anything, but Ralph, you do find what appears to be a can of coffee that, when you open and peer inside, it still smells like coffee and still appears to be at least half full.
Hmm.
Well, there's something.
Here we take this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's bring it back to them.
Okay, I guess I take it.
Unlock the back door. Let's get out of here.
All right, you click the back door open and go to exit. Now, as a GM and storyteller here, and as I was saying, these games are much shorter in session wise than our old D&D ones. The question is, do you wish to continue here, or shall we stop it here because this will be a perfect place for Nora just to suddenly pop back in? as if nothing happened with her.
Uh,
That's up to you guys. Either way, I can work her back in, but I'm just asking because of the cyclic, the cycle nature.
And
Oh, I am enjoying just the two of us. I think one more would be good.
oh yeah, I'm good to keep going.
All right, you exit into the back of the diner. You see the parking lot where you can get a small loading truck in there, or have a couple of employee cars. It's pretty empty at the moment. What would you like to do?
Oh, there's an employee car.
No. This is
But we
where
didn't see any bodies or.
no, this is no cars. It's empty at the moment. But this is the part.
Oh,
This is
okay.
the back parking lot where you would expect employees to park. That's how I should have phrased that. I'm sorry.
Got it. Okay. I just was like, oh, maybe we can try that. But okay, I
It's
think
one
we
of.
just from here we just
Go ahead.
I think we just jog back to the watering hole, Ralph?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, basically, when I was just drawing maps, it never occurred to me to put in that sort of thing. But when I was out in Minecraft putting down physical structures, it suddenly occurred to me, it's like, I got this parking lot over here that I put in, but there's no place for the employees or the loading truck to park. That should be in the back because there's a door in the back. So it's one of those things that making multiple maps and multiple ways of making maps is this makes it easier to pinpoint these sort of details. But okay, you guys.
Right. It's still pitch, still dark night
Yep,
outside is right as we run across the street.
yep. Definitely. I mean, considering you guys slept at the thing and it was still dark when you got out there, it's like it should have been daytime a while ago, and yet it hasn't. There's been no daytime. See if you come back in, or let back in by a rather surprised dwarf, the same one who was there before. It's like, oh, you guys came back. Wasn't sure we were going to see you again.
How long has it been?
It's been 2 days.
Never got light.
Oh no, it hasn't been light since it's happened.
We brought some coffee.
You hear some people actually let up cheers. It's like, coffee, you found coffee? And the bartender kind of nods to you and holds out a hand. This will make some people very happy.
Down that bottle from the top shelf. That Baccarat bourbon.
He nods, taking the coffee can and bringing out the bourbon, pouring you some. Oh,
We've been
glad
gone
to
2 days.
see you.
Well, what has happened here?
Nothing much. It's been quiet inside. And then the dwarf guy says, "Oh, it was a bit tense the other day when that dog came running past."
Yeah, that was in the diner.
Yeah, time's been screwy like that.
sleep in a booth.
You're currently not tired, considering you were kind of resting in the motel. And as far as you
Okay.
guys are concerned, that's been less than an hour.
Gotcha. Okay. Now she was I can't remember, a scholar or something, right? A teacher, maybe? No, worked at the university. Remember?
Yeah, she is the professor of of planar theoretical planar physics, basically. It's like, pity you didn't bring back any tea.
Uh, Fancy a little bourbon, top shelf.
Hmm. Not today, thank you. I'm still trying to work out things, just in case. One never knows what sort of discovery one might make as long as they're sober.
Oh, and we've been out there for what seems like 2 days, chased by a creature I'd never seen before. I never want to see again. And I was in the war, and I mean, this is some real Twilight Zone stuff going on here. Have you managed to work anything out?
She lets out a long sigh. Sadly, no. I don't have any tools or instruments or any extra books that would help me along with this quest.
Look at Ralph. Oh, really? That's something we could help with?
She nods. There is a library far to the north. It's right by the school. It's more of a grade to through high school sort of place. I'm actually not sure what the schooling number system would be in that culture, so I'm just using one that we understand.
Oh yeah, the school for the rich folks. I got it.
No, not school for rich folks. It's school for everybody. The
Oh,
standard,
okay.
but it goes from basically it goes from elementary all the way through high school equivalent. You know, everything before you're going off to college. So it's like everybody goes, will go there that all the kids that live in town.
So you need us so we can go to the library for you and get something for you, or could we
I
escort
don't
you there?
know if there's any useful books there or not, but if you happen to be in that area, it would be useful to look up anything dealing with planers, the various planes, and on history. I think I mentioned this before. The museum might have be your best shot with some of the
Oh,
history. There's apparently some incident that happened in Zaladin 1,000 years ago, in its capital, which apparently this town is built over. So it it sort of figures that the two might be connected in some way.
that's right. We did talk about that. I'm feeling fortified. Ralph, you ready for a trip downtown? Downtown? Uptown?
The headphones cut out.
Arthur, you might need to repeat what you just said to Ralph.
I'm sorry. I just said, hey, I'm fortified with a couple of shots of expensive bourbon, and I yell much louder than I need to Ralph that, hey, Ralph, you ready for a trip downtown or uptown or over there?
Sure, I'm down.
I'm not scared of some stupid dog. So, might be a good idea. Huh? Grab the 8 ball, put it in my pocket before we leave. Oh, am I out? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Uh, oh, okay. Oh, good. Never know when I lose reception or not. Talking away to nobody.
Okay, what was that? My mic keeps shutting off. Something's wrong
I
with the
figured that
cord.
was going on.
Yeah, something's wrong with
Oh,
the cord.
bummer.
Seems like it's going to be the day for that. Sorry.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind calling it here.
Yeah, for having technical failings, it's probably a good idea. But what I would like to know is where you two would like to hopefully end up next. Because that way I can do a little bit of extra planning and figure out what areas you're more likely to end up in based on that idea.
Well, following the directions, I think back me up on this, or let me know if I'm wrong, Ralph. But I think with the directions we got from the professor here, that we want to go to the library and the museum, whichever is, and I'm hoping or that they're kind of close to each other, but I don't know, maybe start at the library, or what do you think, Ralph?
I think probably starting at the museum would probably be a good spot to go to.
Oh,
It is
okay,
also I mean, you would
okay.
also, being a townie, be aware that the museum is far closer than the library. The library is at the north end of
Oh,
town, uh, close to the mall, but also almost right next to the school. Whereas the museum is off to the east of here.
well, it sounds like the museum then.
All right. And with that, hopefully, I will see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It had a good time. Yeah, that was fun with just you and me, huh, Stony?
Oh yeah. You
That,
know,
that whole chase
have
sequence
problem with my
was,
mic.
was hilarious. I'm
Oh,
glad.
oh yeah.
See, that's where you can't get in D&D. D&D, it's like, oh, they see the monster, we're gonna fight it immediately, and it's like,
You're right.
yeah, but this campaign isn't really set up for D&D stuff.